Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft on the Vortex server. Today I will need... I'm guessing that should be enough. I will do basically some nether work. That one nether intersection... I can hear a spider. The one nether intersection leading here, basically, where the tunnel turns from nice tunnel to ugly tunnel, is, as the name suggests, it looks fairly terrible. So what I will need is some materials to fix it. I'll take some more glowstone, but that should be fine. I need some chiseled quartz for the floor, stone brick for the walls, and I think the ceiling was chiseled quartz as well. I'll have to check. Tons of stuff that I'll have to store away. So... most of the spiders are above me. It's kind of, I don't know, I can't help it. There you go. I'm also going to show you, before I head off actually, some of the changes made to this place. I will probably not need the TNT. I never even crafted TNT on this server yet, and still I have 24. And a stack of jungle wood. There we go. I might actually need oak wood as well. I'll try not to make too many cuts today. I think I've shown you the cactus farm before. It's dull. I'll actually come to that later. I added an automatic smelting system, based on, I don't know, a tutorial by JL. So, industrial furnace thing. 25 furnaces, each of them full of blaze rods, and there's still a lot in reserve. This thing has an insane amount of hoppers in it. I think it's approaching like 2 stacks. Yeah, probably almost 2 stacks, because each of the furnaces has one hopper on top of it to introduce the smeltable items. Each of them has 2 hoppers behind it to get the fuel in, and 1 hopper below to get the fuel to get the smelted items out. So that's 4 hoppers per furnace. That's 100 hoppers just like that, and there's some additional ones as well. So almost 2 stacks. Aside from that, it's quite a cheap design. Nothing too major. Uses the minecart to distribute all the stuff evenly across all the furnaces, and just watch the tutorial if you're interested in the details of how it works. I'll come to that in a second. While it's standing, it's almost lagless. It does cause severe lag though while it's running, because there's a silent item elevator. This dropper here elevates items into the chest when they're done. And that, for some reason, that 1 hopper firing just decreases the frame rate by like half. So when I'm usually on 60, it cuts it down to 30, maybe 15. Now, the only reason I'm not too upset about it is because that will only happen while it's running, so I don't care too much. If it's not running, it doesn't cause any lag, so that's fine. And it doesn't run very often, so it runs at like 2.5 items per second because it's 25 furnaces, so it's insanely quick. Probably goes through a standard caving trip worth of item in, I don't know, a few minutes, so I can just plop it on, just AFK for like a bit, get a coffee, get a meal, whatever, and then it's done when I'm back. So it's not constantly causing lag, which is what I'm trying to avoid with this base. Which means I'll probably have to change my storage room actually. I'm not certain if you noticed, but all the item frames seem to still cause lag because it's over 100, so... Yeah, this is just an automatic melon farm. You saw the pistons earlier. So yeah, produces melons. I've put the crafting table here so I can craft them into melon blocks quickly. And that's almost everything I've done. I've added, like, this is just a temporary holding place. I don't know what I'll do with the room when I'm done, but for now it just holds my cows and sheep and pig. And I've got 2 horses in here. That's one, and the other one is probably in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And this is my first dome sphere thing. It's quite cool. I really liked it. Sadly, I built it to be kind of like a biosphere type thing. But sadly, mesa grass is really ugly. So I wanted to like build a small jungle in here, make it look like a, I don't know. Well, like a small habitat where, like, I don't know, maybe you could do research on the jungle trees or whatever. But it won't work because it's way too ugly. So if ever I pick this idea up again, I'll have to do it in a jungle. And I think that really is about it. I don't think I changed anything else here. So let's go to the nether now. Oop. I still haven't done anything on this rail. Not sure I will in the foreseeable future. It will take a lot of stone and I'm bored. Yeah, the whole nether thing, I don't really know what to tell them. Especially that. Ep2jizzle? I don't even know what it's supposed to mean. So while we're writing, I will tell you about some common misconceptions, because I've got that Wikipedia page open right now. From modern history. Napoleon Bonaparte was not short. Apparently people think that. But supposedly he was actually slightly above average for a Frenchman of his age. Well, of his time, basically. So it's actually quite a common misconception, really. People thinking he's small, but he was small, but apparently he wasn't. He was average sized. And that term, like he was called the small general, that was a term of affection rather than a comment about his stature. And this is the place, which we're gonna need to make a little prettier. But first I actually forgot something, but that's okay. I'll get to that later, I think. Again, don't expect too much action in this episode. It's probably going to be a bit of a talky one as well. If these annoy you, I can do less episodes but more action and more updates, or more episodes but more talking and just boring stuff. I'm just trying to find like interesting stuff here. Santa Claus, the like popular image, was not invented by the Coca-Cola company. I know a lot of, especially Christians in America, seem to state that Santa Claus was an invention by Coca-Cola. He wasn't. They just used the image because it worked quite well. Oh, this is another one that I've heard quite often. Albert Einstein did not fail mathematics at school. I don't know why people think that, but I've heard that quite a lot actually. That supposedly he was really bad at maths and he failed that class. He did once say that he didn't like it, and I think he also said that he was struggling with it, but oh, I forgot, the frame rates here are really terrible. They've only gotten worse because, like, the villagers keep breeding, basically. We are now at almost 700 entities, and it's not helping. What I wanted was actually... It's not going to be here. I need signs, but that's okay. I'll just get them at some other later point. And that breeding system will have to be moved elsewhere. So let me just quickly enter this again. But yeah, Albert Einstein said, I never failed in mathematics. Before I was 15, I had mastered differential and integral calculus. So he was actually good at it, but I think he didn't like it as much. And I know he said that he was struggling with it in certain interviews, and it seems like I'm stuck, but I'm not really. It's like weird. Sometimes my rail just seems to glitch out a bit. Don't know why. And it has, like, since we updated, it's been getting laggy on the rail. I don't know, because probably it's moving quite fast and it's loading new areas, something, I don't know. Anything else? Let me please get out. Stop lagging. Fine. Okay, so my pickaxe is way too powerful for this technically. And this room is like not ideal because the ladder here will have to stay. Up. Okay, this looks like a reasonable size. Wow, I'm lagging badly. I don't even know why. Yeah, so it's not just me, it's probably server side. At least in part. I might not finish this today then. Lag is like terrible. Okay, so invisible block there. It's like... You see? There's an invisible block somewhere here. And I can't tell where. I think I got it. So firstly there's a portal here which I will need to connect up with a bit of a small tunnel. I don't want to move it. There will be some sort of special block, I guess. Oh, okay. I remember now. I was wondering for a moment why I had a fortune axe, but then I remembered. Okay, all the netherrack can go in there. There we go. So around the ladder there will be some sort of special doesn't help at all. Some sort of special blocks indicating the ladder so it's easier to see. And I might actually change this up even more, but I'm not certain yet. So and I did not bring enough quartz. Oh well. It's mostly an update episode anyway, so that's okay. I will need pillars were like this? No. How did you make pillar quartz blocks again? I know chiseled. I'll work it out. But yeah, this needs to go as well. And actually I need to go one block higher, don't I? Guess the ceiling needs to be non-ugly as well. Up, up, up. I'll actually, what I'll do is I'll make this 2 episodes. So nothing fancy, nothing fun, nothing too interesting, but when I'm done with this episode I'll just start recording the next one immediately. So we'll get 2 update episodes, and at the end of the second one I should have this room finished. Okay, and I will need a lot of nether brick, I think, as well. Just to make it a little nicer. And this looks good as an entrance to the tunnel. So I will do the same thing here. Okay, that works. This needs to go 1 in actually, because it does. Okay. And these... Did I make them different material over there? I'll have to check that. And I don't mind that there's like spots left behind there, for example, where stuff would spawn. I'm not too concerned about like spawn safety and such in this place. Actually, why don't I? Because this is just like a hub room. It's not meant to be large. So let me just do this quickly. And then I'll need this, and of course that happens. Open. The lag is terrible. There we go. And then I can actually end the room right here. I'll need more stone brick as well, actually, by the look of it. But yeah, pigmen spawning I do not care about, so... I am aware that they can now spawn behind the wall and such, but since I do not have a gold farm here or anywhere, whatever people might tell you, I really don't. It doesn't matter to me if pigmen can spawn here. And then I will need to get rid of this bit of wall as well. So, and then more quartz for now down here as well. And I could swear that this way you made pillars, but maybe it doesn't work with the chiseled. I will have to actually, before I do anything, let me fix the rails so that they're usable. Just temporary. And now I will hop back to my base to see what I've done there, and then might end the episode. So, one thing that people might actually be thinking apparently is that when you assume someone is missing, you have to wait 24 hours before calling the police, because otherwise you don't know if they're actually missing. That's not true. You can connect the police after half an hour if you feel that's appropriate. And usually they will not get angry at you, because that's kind of their job. So if you think someone is missing and late, gone, and if it's unusual and you think something might have happened, even if it's only been half an hour or maybe 2 hours or whatever, you can tell the police. You don't have to wait a day. Why ever people would believe that is beyond me, but apparently they do. Food and cooking. So, chiseled below as well. No, wait, that's not chiseled, that's Ah, I see. It's not chiseled, it's upside, it's like pillar blocks below. Yeah. And chiseled in the ceiling and glowstone. Okay, I can do that. So let's go back home now. Cooking food that has like alcoholic ingredients, like if you, I don't know, cook something in wine, for example, it does not lose all its alcohol. It loses a fair bit of it, and depending on the longer you cook it, the more evaporates, but not all of it, so that's actually quite interesting and something to bear in mind, especially if you're driving and there's strict laws in your country. Just because it might show up on a test. I guess eating one dish that was cooked in wine is not gonna get you drunk, but there's countries that have strict laws on these things, so bear it in mind. I kind of skimmed the list earlier, but I'm now trying to look through it to find actually interesting stuff, not just like things that aren't really misconceptions anymore. Fortune cookies are not a Chinese thing, they're a Japanese thing. Okay. So in China they're actually quite rare. Words and phrases, that was kind of boring. Science. Oh yes, this one's actually quite common. People think and say that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made object that can be seen from space. And that is actually wrong in multiple ways. Firstly, you cannot see the Great Wall of China from space with your naked eye. None of the astronauts in space can see it. None of them ever said they could. If you've got a telescope or something, then of course you can see it, but then with a telescope you can see much smaller structures as well, so that doesn't really count. I mean, if you see Google Earth or the Google Maps stuff, you can see like individual cars from space if you've got like good enough magnification. So the Great Wall of China cannot be seen. There's pictures of like China and you see like a line and people say that's the Great Wall. That's a river. And then of course it's the Great Wall cannot technically be seen from space unless you widen the definition of can be seen, and then a lot of other objects come in as well. Need more of this. Now, pillar quartz blocks. Got more chiseled? I could swear. It's like... Oh, okay, so it doesn't work with chiseled. I thought it was like sandstone, because with sandstone, any kind of sandstone can be used to make any other kind of sandstone block. So, for example, I could use like chiseled sandstone in a 2x2 square to make smooth sandstone. And I could make slabs from the chiseled as well, and they would be normal sandstone slabs. And so forth. So I thought that was a similar thing. Apparently it wasn't. And now I'll end this episode, and I'll see you right in a second, but you'll have to wait a bit, and I'll finish the project. See you then!